And I think beyond that, we've also had some programs. So you might have heard of the Mobile Apps Academy, in which we've established that program with ITIDA to get 200 people to develop mobile apps and really create the momentum. There's nothing really directly in it for us as Vodafone Egypt. It's more about creating the environment and the momentum and getting more developers acquainted with mobile apps development on different platforms. And we've brought in partners like Nokia, we've brought in Microsoft and Dream. So I think I think the momentum is picking up from the Vodafone Egypt side. I think we're quite open. So Wireless Stars just made the point today. Happy to have a look at their application and see if there's something we can help on.
طيب عمرو عنده follow up.
Okay. So I think one of the simplest things mobile operators can do in Egypt is to provide startups with enough data about what exactly is happening in the mobile space in Egypt. Okay, so if I am developing, for example, an application for BlackBerry, okay, I want to know very simply what is the most popular model of BlackBerry out there, or what is the most popular Nokia phone out there, or how is the growth rate in data consumption by users, so that I can actually build my business accordingly and know how I will be scaling it in the future. This amount of information, they are present in all the markets around the world, but I think it is practically impossible to get them from Egypt. Okay, we tried looking around and they are not there. We tried asking the operators directly and we were not actually given the data. So I think this is something very important for entrepreneurs who are building applications in Egypt to know actually how the market is growing.
Yeah, I think Amr, you've made this request to me personally before, and I think this really has to be discussed in the context of a collaboration program. So this is not a request that one single operator can satisfy. I think you need to look at the trends. So if we could come together, the mobile operators, and probably we need the help of ITIDA or some similar organization where we can actually feed that data to some neutral organization, and then it's disseminated to the community of mobile app developers without actually knowing that this is the particular trend on the Vodafone network, or on the Mobile network or the Salat network. So I think that's something that is certainly something we would look into. Where do we start? I think maybe we haven't identified the starting point, but I think it sounds like a good idea. It's something to look at. And I think, to me, possibly the Innovation Center from MCIT or ITIDA would be the right drivers for it.
So this is a call من entrepreneurs of the mobile startups in Egypt. We need data. And I hope إن شاء الله it gets settled. في أسئلة تانية من ال Okay, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne Habib, Ideavelopers. My question's for all these great entrepreneurs here. What's the next milestone that you want to achieve within the next year?
Okay, this question makes sense. هتعملوا ايه بعد كده؟ ف let's start مثلا بالناس اللي عملت launching and see how the others would move. ابتدي بيقول لك what's next?
Like I was saying earlier, what's next is you were speaking of a 1 million target. We'd love to be 1 million, have 1 million people in a year, maybe even sooner. Who knows?
So this is your next milestone goal.
Our next milestone, definitely growth and growing exponentially is our very clear target for medium and long term.
Do you have a certain figure or vision معين?
Well, I'd rather not disclose a specific number at this point, but growth definitely is a very clear thing, not just being limited to where we are in terms of just BlackBerry or iPhone applications that are.
What's next after dominating iPad and iPhone App Store for?
Okay, actually we didn't dominate yet the iPhone and the iPad, but our next step is to dominate the iPhone and the iPad.
Okay, being in the top, how are you going to do this? I want to next thing.
Okay, we have the next big thing that we are working on. Still not really, the shrink wrap is still on it.
Okay.
However, our plan was always to the next thing should be at least 10 times as big as the previous thing.
واجان الفكره كلها بلاش ندخل in details بس الفكره كلها انكم you're moving into the same strategy which is building apps for the app store and getting paid for this. Okay. CircleTie.
Well, over the next year, our plan is basically three things. So we have regional expansion. We want to expand into other cities in the region. We want to provide more and more value to our users. And we want to hit the 1 million users.
So, ال 1 million user will come من الريجنال ولا من مصر الأول؟ يعني are you thinking إنكم كنتوا تدومينيتوا الأول مصر وبعد كده تتحركوا to the region ولا لا أنتوا هتسبريدوا into the region؟
No, we're planning on spreading across.
Spreading across the region. Okay. Wireless stars.
Okay, wireless stars, we're looking at three aspects. First aspect is, well, the target at the end is, I want to have more users using the platform indirectly. Okay, so in order to do this, I need to have more developers using or developing apps using the platform, in addition to some of the apps that we might come up with, so that we can have more users using the overall platform. ده رقم واحد. رقم اثنين is, in order for me to go ahead and do that, I want to go ahead and strengthen, make sure our platform is scalable, and we want to go ahead and expand this and expand the platform itself to cover the Middle East. We're starting with Egypt. We think we're confident of what we have, and very soon we'll be expanding to the other countries in the region.
طب أنا كان عندي سؤال location based service و regulation وخصوصا إحنا we have the three location based location based services. ايه اخبار location based وازاي تعاملتم مع الريجيليشنز والان تي ار اي and how was this ride بالنسبه لكم؟ نبتدي من وايلد ستارز.
We're waiting.
طب CircleTie launched فانتوا اكيد you had
Well, actually, the thing is we don't really track where the user is, and this is where the regulation stops you. You can't track users.
بس انا ببعت اللوكيشن بتاعتي.
I don't store that.
اوكي فانت no matter if you don't store this
I can't know where you are.
اوكي بيقول لك
We're still not really
that
location based.
But does this threat your expansion plan?
Definitely GPS and other type of location based services are something that's very relevant to what we're doing in terms of looking at traffic. And knowing the regulations, having that be clear, knowing where our ceiling is in terms of what we can do is a very important factor.
فانتوا you still مش عارفين لسه
We
الدنيا
still
هتمشي
don't know.
ازاي
We
معانا.
still don't know what the limitation. Where do we draw the line on what we can and can't do in terms of accessing that sort of feature.
Vimov كان عندكم أي experience مع
Regulation؟
احنا
بنحاول نبتعد عن أي حاجة ليها علاقة بالregulation.
Okay.
No, but I think in Ahmed put it very clear. I think that's the aspect of NTRA. As long as you do not store the information, the location of the person, that's it. I think.
وهل ده بيقلل value طيب بتاعتكم؟ يعني not to have this content هل ده مش حاجة بتقلل value عندكم حتى if you're thinking exit برا مصر يعني not having this content, this information?
Well, there are workarounds to it, so.
Okay.
We need to talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask the panel. Listening to everyone's story is very interesting, and it's quite. It was clear that you. It's clear that most of you started in a very techie kind of environment, a lot of technical people. So why do you think that it's very difficult for you to attract, or why have you had trouble perhaps attracting marketing people into your team from the get-go, commercial people? Is that something you ever considered, or you would consider if you were starting again, instead of one of you dropping all your technical expertise and going to something where you're learning from A to Z from the beginning?
Okay. السؤال ده ممكن نبتدي بيه عمرو باعتبار ان هو he dropped his technical expertise to fill the gap. ليه ما كنتوش عندكم any attraction business people to come and join you?
First of all, if you are a founder of your company and there is one thing that you don't understand, I don't really think you can hire someone to understand it for you. Okay, you have to understand it. If you are not good in marketing, you have to understand marketing. If you are not good in finance, you have to understand finance. If you are planning for an IPO, you need to understand the stock market. So you really need to understand everything about building your startup. Certainly, we started now in expanding by hiring marketing people. But starting up, I couldn't change. I did as much as I can, which is to change myself so that things can work out.
Wireless stars.
Wireless stars. I agree with what Amr said, but I disagree. So yes, I changed into going into business development and so on. But I would rather have someone on the team and I would learn from him rather than me doing the learning, because I'm never going to be up to that level. Okay, so I need someone with all of that marketing, sales, business development experience on the team. Why I don't have that person till now? Maybe I don't know how to talk to them. So if you know someone, talk to him, talk to me, and then we can find something. But yes, I am looking for something like that. I think it's something which puts us a step back.
Okay, I think we have time. 2 questions كمان صح? 1 question. Okay. Any questions? So, I think that makes. I think in the last question would be بقى what's your bank accounts عشان نبتدي ان احنا ايه نديها للinvestors هنا. I think in احنا we have 4 bright startups in the mobile area. I hope to see the next big thing coming out from these guys. I'd like to thank you for this great panel and thank Ideavelopers for this huge opportunity. Thank you very much.